Welcome back everyone to the Valorant Game Changers APAC Elite. This is stage number 4. Game 1 was a heck of a long game where not only did we get 2 overtimes and also went all the way to map 3. I'm Tashman alongside Donut, and now we are going to our second game of the day. Yes, second, guys.
Yeah, it's just the second, but it's gonna be an even more intense one because our second matchup is gonna be Bren Victress versus Rising Hope. And Bren Victress came in so strong during stage number 1 out of all of the opens, finishing out at top 2, but they were just taken down yesterday, and it was a surprising turn of events because X10S, they were so ready. They said, we're not gonna be the underdogs. You guys should actually create that storyline now. And Bren Victress, maybe because of that recent change, right, for their team, they might be finding their footing first, or they just really did not expect X10S to be really up there.
I think X10S has been really showing that dedication or that tenacity, but I'm sure that they learned a lot from that match yesterday. Regardless, let's have a closer look at both teams. Check this out. With one another, here we are. These teams have played with each other before. One team has a change in roster, and one team just changed organizations.
Well, we have to talk about Rising Hope, right? We touched on Bren Victress earlier on, but Rising Hope, with this new look and how they played out yesterday, the rounds were so close. It's just that Team SMG had a better footing. I don't know if it's just really all about the endurance that they had to offer as well, but now that they're going to be against Bren Victress and they know their opponents, they might have the best strategy now to be really more involved. And I would have to say, right, the new organization doesn't just offer that group, but also offers that new that new player for them, because before they had Lair as a player for CSGO, and they have been reunited. So this reunion is something to look forward to.
I think that this reunion is going to give them a very different look onto how they play the game. If you remember, when they were under the previous organization, this team has been sticking together until now they are. So the power of friendship, well, being a bit dramatic here, the power of friendship as well as their synergy is definitely there. But 2 players that we want to have a look at is Aya and Twirly. Now, when you look at Aya, one thing that really sticks out for her is how flexible she can be. Either she can run the jet or run the sky. It shows that she's able to play in the front lines, and it really translates into her ACS when you think about it. Now, if you look at the side of Twirly, I think what's really important to know about Twirly is how aggressive she can be. So far throughout this tournament, she's been running Rays a lot, and she is one of the most aggressive Rays with the potential for multi-fragging.
Definitely, and we're seeing that head-to-head, right? A duelist versus a duelist. But I think in terms of the flexibility, we can also see Twirly sometimes embody that sentinel for the team, and we've seen her have a lot of success with these multi-kills. I remember a round wherein they were just playing Ascent, and KO, Alexi was playing the KO, right? The amount of assistance that Alexi was able to give with just a flash, and Twirly being able to take down 4, those are something that we want to be reminiscent of coming into this series. But apart from that, of course, Rising Hope with a new look, right? Aya has always been a consistent duelist for the team, and we expect her to be just as aggressive like Twirly. But then, given this new look now, we have to see also that restraint from them, just to really get on a little bit of space to figure out how their opponents will be. And at the moment, right, the pick for Bind is such a staple for Rising Hope. We've seen them play this map so many times, and I guess this is really their favorite.
I mean, when you look at it on both ways, the fact that now Trix is in as a player and no longer their coach shows a very different dynamic that they have for the team. And when you look at Bind, we've seen them play so many times, and it's a very classic map from them. They're very, very aggressive on this map. They're very at home, and they have so many different ways of approaching defense and attack. Now, when you look at Bren Victress, they like to play this sort of big maps. Breeze is their, I would say, their not staple, but their pick here. Because when you look at it this way, for Bren Victress, what's really great about looking at them is how they play their aim duels. They're absolutely cracked, and what's really important as well is just how they play in terms of taking up those big space. So going to Ascent as a decider, I think it's very fair for both teams, because it's a map that everyone knows and everyone has an idea on how exactly to take it, a different take for both teams.
I mean, when it comes to Rising Hope, the reason why they selected Bind is because of the mind games. As you mentioned, right, Trix with the leadership that she offers to the table doesn't just come with, of course, the mental, but also the strats. The experience that she already has, right, when it comes to FPS, plus Bind can give them that advantage, and Trix can offer so much to the table. And when it comes down to Ascent, right, it's a mix of the two. With how large the map can be, especially mid, that could be Bren Victress's territory. But when it comes to the sites, though, it could be Rising Hope's.
Yeah. Now, when you look at the two maps chosen, shows two different game styles or gameplays for each team. Rising Hope, they prefer smaller CQC sort of situations as opposed to Bren, who likes long range. We've seen some really interesting, very cross-map, I would say, lineups from Bren Victress before, and I really think that because of how fast they can pass information to each other, allows them to play a sort of like tag team when it comes to a map as big as Breeze. Now, coming on to Bind, though, if you can see Rising Hope, a 71% win rate is not just a number. It really is a statement here, which really shows why exactly Bind is their home. But Bren Victress is not a team to be reckoned with as well, because with a 73% win rate for Bren Victress themselves, really shows that both teams are very, very aware on how exactly to navigate this particular map. Now, if you look at both teams, for Bren Victress, they have a different array of lineups as opposed to Rising Hope. But for Rising Hope, they have one particular lineup that they like to use in particular is Killjoy, Omen, Raze, Sage, as well as the Sova. Now, I'm wondering if the Sova will be replaced by a Fade.
Yeah, I mean, before probably Rising Hope would be selecting that Sova, but Trix is gonna be embracing that Fade, right? Fades for both of these teams.
I'm so sorry to talk over you. I just want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
For Trix, this is her classic favorite. I used to talk to her a lot, and she's always ranting about that Fade Sky combo, and she's brought it into the game.
Yeah, and we're pretty excited to see that, right? Hannah, when it comes to these gameplays and in Bind, I think it was Quack who casted that, and she dodged a showstopper and she was able to get the kill. She can dodge a showstopper and be a showstopper herself when it comes to these clutches, and we expect that with that Fade and Sky duo for both of these teams. So Initiator on the side of Rising Hope, but comfort picks for Bren Victress. But really, the question is who. I didn't really catch who will start off on attack first or defense, because that will say a lot with the playstyle, because Bren Victress, they do love to be so aggressive on attack.
I think on attack is aggressive is also one thing, but defensive on defense aggression is also another thing in itself. It's very important to take up space, but for now, speculation aside, let's see who exactly will take Rising Hope's map pick. Will it be the team itself, or will it be Bren Victress? Let's bring it up to Sleepy as well as Zaya Aura.
All right. We are going on to match number 2 after quite a long match 1. Zaya, I have to say, it's been 4 hours.
It has been 4 hours.
So finally, now we're gonna see Rising Hope and Bren Victress. These two teams again are also gonna be fighting for their lives, and Bind has been the choice for Rising Hope. And I mean, I guess they have a bit of a confidence boost since watching Bren Victress yesterday, because Bren Victress, they got destroyed yesterday on Bind against Extend Sapphire with a scoreline of 13-4. So maybe seeing that, Rising Hope thought, you know what, we can do that. So why don't we go and do that? Let's pick Bind for ourselves, and they did. And the double fade. We also have a Jet versus Raze. This is a classic. I think it's been a while that we've seen Jet on Bind, so I'm actually curious to see how this is going to work out for them.
I mean, personally, I do used to talk to one of the members of our Victress as well, and of course, it's something that I'm pretty sure they do have that motivation to get back into, especially into the map of Bind. They do not wish to get destroyed by this map as well, regardless of whoever their opponent team is. So I feel like that's also one of the boost that they need right now, and it's up to them to basically prove that they can come back from that said loss. But right now, for Rising Hope, again, as our panelists have mentioned, Trix has been very much eyeing out this Fade Sky combination, and it's also just to see how these fruits of their labor would come to arise. But right now, it's already the start of our second match of the day, the first game between Bren Victress and Rising Hope. So a little bit of a jiggle peek here to start it off with Lexi in towards long. Pretty sure you're going to see that gun soon enough. That's going to be the hunt, trying to start things off. Not going to detect anyone, but that's a quick wall coming in from Alexi as well to narrow down the options of Rising Hope.
Yeah, the wall immediately destroyed though. Still no entry. They're actually gonna execute towards a triple box now. Gonna have to find this chamber. Where is this chamber? Shiradzi will still stay alive outside of the brimstone smoke. Transition into U-Haul as well. The timing is unreal. But will they be able to survive this bench with two frenzies flanking them as well? That's gonna be an easy shutdown, an easy control towards U-Haul, leaving only 3 players for the retake.
Definitely, and of course, again, at least position-wise, I feel like they weren't able to really guard A as much as they did. Okay, that's going to be one, not going to be another, though, as Ali goes for the trade. But then again, she is on a slimmer of health. Alexi with a right-click on her classic towards the area. Ivory, though, with the safety net. But Alexi is doing so well with her classic at the moment. This is going to be the have to use to gun it off. Hannah finishes this round in their hands.
2 HP. That could have gone either way, honestly. I understand what Alexi was trying to do. She was trying to go for the health diffuse before going for the fight, and I guess there was enough time, but she just didn't land the shot. 2 HP. I mean, it could have gone her way. So, nice try. Good defense on this post plant, even though it was a bit bloody. Everybody was just trading left and right. I feel like it was a pretty good response from Bren Victress, but at the same time, Rising Hope, they knew exactly what they needed to do. They needed to take U-Haul control, and they've done it in a way that they pinched from both side and outside of U-Haul, and it was working perfectly. And now the timing is also working in favor of Bren Victress this time. Unfortunately, they don't have the weapons to work.
And their positions as well. Look how free B side was in for the taking for the side of R8 at the moment. And right now, we do see the plan situation coming at bay. Worley was a bit of, advanced in towards our B unfortunately, that's why she's been taken down by Tricky the Bulldogs. But you know what? To go in with the one, not going to be another, as there is the trades for both sides of the team. But then Aya coming into the scene outside the smoke. Hello, here I come, as she cleans it up for the crew.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to see the advantages of playing a Jet just yet, but I can already, I guess how well this agent is going to be, because people might forget how to play against a Jet, you know, because a Jet, they have very good effective utilities in terms of escaping unfavorable situations. With that dash, Aya is going to have so much flexibility in terms of where she wants to position herself, in terms of how she wants to entry into the site. Spaces will be taken very easily as long as she has the support she needs. And of course, there will always be that one or even two initiators sticking with her. And let's see how they're going to take the showers.
And started off with the flash as well, but look at this with better weapons. This is bonus, take note, for the side of Rising Hope. And unfortunately, we do see members of Bren Victress really falling down. Alexia, however, from the flank, was able to spot out Aya, uses the slow orb. Not sure, I think she didn't see Tricks in towards that side, so she has to be very careful when peeking showers at the moment, because there's a crossfire that's happening on that. Look at that, see, because she was unaware, she was taken down and Twirly for the trade. But then again, Hannah very quick on her feet, she should be able to know, but Twirly can only take so much, as Ivory, being the stealth as she is from Lamps, was able to get the third point.
I love the sequence. Flash into peek and dash out, getting 2 kills right from the get-go. The 5v3, even with lesser weapons, the player advantage was too much to handle for Bren Victress. Did manage to recover it a little bit, as Alexi was able to get a kill, but again, as you said, did not expect the second player towards showers. They were playing with 3 players on showers, right? So it was a bit unexpected. Although I have to say, at this point, if it's a 5v3 post-plant, you have to assume any position is available for the post-planters to fill. And so you have to be extra disciplined to clear all those little corners before actually going into the side. And they didn't manage to do that, so Bren Victress paid it with a round, and therefore now a 3-0 lead is on the board. 2 orbs away to 2 ultimates. Ali with 1 and Alexi with another. They don't have the guns to work with though this round, so they can't really do that much. But having said that, we know how Thrifty is gonna work this game.
Yeah, it could, but then again, for the side of Bren Victress, if anything, if they need to win these rounds, it has to be now or at least on the next one, because normally we would expect onto a third round that the losing end would definitely get that up, since they do have those rifles to work with. But what I'm seeing, especially for the previous rounds that we have witnessed, is basically the positioning of Bren Victress at the moment, because it's funny how we do see that A side is technically free for to take for the side of RH, knowing that that's also the pistol round. And of course as well with the B side, it was a similar thing, because we saw that the Victress was planning to go and try to take them from behind, but because no one is in towards that side for the taking, I feel like there was, you know, basically a lack of guards into these specific sites. So with that being said, I feel like they just need to tweak it up in terms of, you know, I think just gathering information would be, you know, most viable for the sides of Victress, knowing that they're also defender sides as well.
Yeah. Well, we are finally going to get back into the game. A bit of a technical pause there, not too long. So everybody's back, no worries. Now we're going to see Bren Victress fight it out with what they have. Which I can't say is much. Only stingers, judges, sheriff, and oh wait, she's down already? Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah. Again with the entry, will almost get a second one. Unfortunately for her, Alexi managed to sidestep into the teleporter with her life, and Twirly will have to do some magic here. Fortunately, she doesn't have any satchels.
Spike planted.
Indeed, this is getting a bit rough for the side of Victress at the moment, as Rising Hope was able to get the site for the taking once again, technically free, since I feel like that was a bit of an overextension for both Alexi and Ali's side in towards Wulong. But look at that, just across the floor, not even giving them time to react. Orbital Strike was just a distraction, and the other members are just there to take them down.
See, the thing is, even though Gwen kind of quote-unquote wasted the Orbital Strike, they still have 3 ultimates to work with.
Yeah,
Granted, the
exactly.
Blade Storm isn't exactly a team fight utility or ultimate, but it's still an ultimate, and they still have Seekers and Nightfall, so executing into a side will not be that much of a problem. So things are looking so bright for Rising Hope, and Bren Victress, they know this. They want to stop this momentum, and this timeout should be able to help with that. And also, they need to discuss how they want to use these ultimates they also have, the Nightfall and the Resurrection, and also plan out how they want to counter these imminent executes from the side of Rising Hope. And so far, it's been pretty plain how Rising Hope are approaching this rounds, right? They're just executing into the side together, much like what we saw Zol Meraki did in the previous game on Icebox. It's just that Bren Victress, like you said, they're letting go of too much space, given easy access for Rising Hope to get into the side and get into the post-plant position. So responding to that, it takes some time. And of course, with a lesser weaponry, they didn't manage to get the kills they needed. And this time around, they do have the guns, they do have the ultimates. Hopefully, we're going to get to see a change from the side of Bren Victress.
I mean, it has to be, or else this could really snowball down for the the Rising Hope. So this time, it's pretty good that they're not the ones, really overextending this time around. And this could be, one of the things that we get to see Aya go and enter for her team. But the good thing about this, though, because I feel like Rising Hope kind of anticipates, okay, they're going to go and push in a bit slowly. So maybe let's just, give them the benefit of the doubt. So look at how they're not as aggressive as we've seen from the previous rounds, because they're waiting. They're waiting for those peaks to happen. They're waiting for them to dwindle down, the members of Bren Victress, because that's the strategy that's working for Rising Hope at the moment. So look at them. Look at this. Like 40 seconds already on the clock. I'm pretty sure they're going to commit to A anyways at this point. That's going to be the Seekers out as well as the Flash. Look, quick usage of all utilities, and it still managed to work out. Aya takes 1, but Ali for the trade makes it a double in towards Labs. I feel like she whiffed it, to say the least. And then right now, Hannah with 1, but there's the revive. Twirly did not make that revive in vain, as she was able to take 1 down for herself. Spike has not been planted just yet, as Gwen takes 1. Zinni on 2 showers takes it. But then again, there is the shutdown from Zinni. Finally, Bren Victress getting their first point.
It was looking so good for Rising Hope. They were so effective in terms of finding that first kill. The distance closing ability from Aya was so effective to catch Twirly off guard. But Ali, being the anchor that she is, defended that position so well, allowing for the revive and making it into an equal situation. In fact, she killed more than what Rising Hope got in the first place, so the advantage went straight back into the Bren Victress side. Now, this should be what Bren Victress can hope for, keeping control for that Belong area, Hookah area. Maybe they want to go get deeper controls towards Showers and A-Short as well, so they don't get surprised in those executions that we saw. However, if you want to go for deeper control, you're also taking more risk. So let's see how they want to manage and balance those things together. For now, though, I think they're opting for just a passive slow gameplay, not really trying to overextend, getting
Yeah.
extra information that they really need. They only have one initiator though, so getting information is not as easy as you would
Bring
think.
them down.
Definitely. And looking at this, you did mention some control into showers as well, just so that they can get surprised. But I feel like Rising Hope as well, because they saw that wall, I feel like they didn't need any more investment into that. But as we say it, Ali, however, was able to take down Ion before she could even take a good shot. So that's one good isolation for Ali as well, making it a double,
Standing.
concealing her identity
30 seconds
as we do see Tricks for the trade up, but it's all up to her and her alone. The Prowler's there, good enough to shield off Alexi. Getting now their second point here. Sleepy, I feel like, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't want to jinx it, okay? For all of the and anomalies over there, I don't want to jinx it, but I hope that Bren Victress, if ever they do continue this peak, playing it control and waiting for these peaks, I feel like they could even out the scores.
Yeah, I love it. I love how effective their crossfires have become. They're just chilling in their own positions, but also realizing that they can always help each other out if they needed to. And that's making it easy for them to hold on to those sites. Now it's down to Rising Hope and what they have in store. They have a Blade Storm, no real ultimates. I say real ultimates when I'm talking about ultimates that can really have an impact as a whole. With the AoE damage or ability to prevent anyone from staying in a position. But also, at the same time, Tricks, I would love to see that kill onto Alexi. However, Alexi will be able to stay alive and heal back up to 76. In the meantime, Trix is also going to get healed up from Hannah all the way up to 100. So eventually the trade was in favor of Trix, but still, position-wise, still very good for Shirazi. But Shirazi is down together with Alexi, and just like that, B-side is free for the take.
B-side is free, definitely once more, and the flash again is very much detrimental for their entry here for side of for Rising Hope, and it worked wonders. 3 already flashed in, but look at that, the triple peak made it work, and now it's a situation for both sides. Oh, actually, for these teams, Orbital Strike basically forced in free position right now, but Ivory takes one, make it another. Those positions not enough to really falter the team Rising Hope here. And Sleepy, the fact that they're able to bounce back up from that loss, Bren Victress has to really think of ways for them to shut them down as early as now.
Yeah, and Bren Victress, they need to realize how RH is playing. RH is playing with their utilities so much that they're always playing off of that Sky Flash. Just like what you saw in that elbow area, the flash was being turned. Unfortunately, it was a little too late when the flash popped, and therefore the flash would really blind all of them to its elbow. So it didn't really get the impact they wanted, but still, those kinds of initiatives are what defines RH. So RH, if they can just keep this on while not losing the gunfights, obviously, they will be able to take free wins after free wins. And especially if they know about this flank. The flank is on, they are found, but now that's the cue for RH to go, go, go. Because if they stay right here, they're just going to get pinched like kebabs.
And I feel like that's going to happen because look, all of the information is being shown to them. Alexi with the one. Good time to double peek it, but no, Shirazi takes the other. And the flawless round for Bren Victress. Oh my. And I feel like we got, a little bit of a barbecue happening around here,
Yes. Some good sandwiching.
Yeah, exactly.
But just keep in mind, guys.
That's just so interesting for Victress. Like they're very confident in flanking out in towards B side, and the good thing about it is also timing, because the moment that the likes of Trix was able to see them from mid, the smoke was already down from Zin, and she only was able to spot out Ali. So that all the more, you know, paved the way for their stealth and the confidence. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
They needed to do it.
Yeah, they
Because
need. Yeah,
again,
of course.
they can't give the space for RH to do what they like to do, which is execute and using utilities, just like the Flash from Sky. And this very upfront position is very interesting. Are they going to get the kill off, though? Shiradzi will be the first point of contact, and then the pressure is on Twirly.
Speaking of pressure here, Shirazzi still was able to take kill of her own before that rendezvous. It was actually quite smooth, to be honest. And
Yeah.
the information that she was able to gather too is so vital. And now this is also the reason why we see Ivory kind of left behind A, just to see if anyone tries an attempt to flank or a more, you know, viable rotate later on. Then you see here the Haunt to be shut down. Aya with that with the peak, but then Twirly goes for the shutdown. Paint shells as well do delay all the more the pushes.
30 seconds
Lexi
left.
from A site takes down Ivory, and all the more chances for Rising Hope to take the side is getting slimmer.
Yeah, slimmer chance by the second. Probably just going to go for the save now. Only 15 seconds remaining. They were shut down quite nicely. We were talking about how
10 seconds left.
whether it's going to work out for Shiradzi and Twirly in that bait and switch position, which would be long, and it actually worked out pretty nicely. Shiradzi with the operator shot, Twirly also being able to reposition with her satchel. And obviously, this is not looking good for RH. They had such a good lead, and now Bren Victress, they figured things out. They know they can't let Rising Hope get the spaces they've gotten in the first few rounds. And you saw this. Now, the way Bren Victress have been playing these past few rounds is they take so much space by being up front, you know, by being so deep into the enemy territory, like that B-Long, for example. Right?
Yeah.
And this is making it a little awkward for RH because now they can't get ready for those executes too easily. Bit of a failed wall. It's going to give time for them to reset, though. Is this going to be happening? Yes, it is! Easy kill from the bag. But Trix will get a trade.
Where was the time where Rising Hope watches their play? But and still, despite that advantage, Ivory still loses that fight with Alexi. And now she has time to heal herself up. The spike, though, has been